neurological care for the entire family. We make very gentle, very specific corrections to the spine to reduce nerve root irritation and instability of the joint. We have over 350 online reviews, and we've been serving this area for over 10 years. We are booking new patient appointments.
Yeah, you've been poisoning this land for over 10 years. That's what you mean. Let's go to the Bible. Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who could know it? You know, these people done stole this land. They do redder than these letters, man. Second Chronicles 2:5. In the house which I build is great, for great is our God. Above all gods, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, that's our God, the Father, in the name of the Son. Daniel spoke about, this is the vision of Daniel coming. Daniel 11:37. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall make himself above all. And remember, you know, the real devil is not, he don't like women, you know. The devil and his kids, they believe in same-sex marriage. It's like in their DNA or something. But remember Daniel's 11:37, neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. So there's people out here doing this, you know. You gotta understand, Notre Dame, they enslave the children of Israel. You gotta understand it, man. A lot of these colleges are fables. They teach people to be professional witches, devils. It's just deceivers, man. John 3:31. He that cometh from above is above all. He that is of the earth is earthly. He speaketh of the earth. He that cometh from heaven is above all. So you know this. That's why this stuff is so ramping up out here. He gave us a tongue where our enemies can't gainsay nor resist. You know, 2 Thessalonians 2:4. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he is as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Every Sunday service, where are they running to? You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, they praying to the God of the dead. So, remember this. 2 Thessalonians 2, verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the image of the beast that's being worshipped all over the globe is the wrong image. It's the golden image that was set up over 500 years ago. They about to they about to do daylight savings again. They're changing the laws. They're about to change everything. Everything's about to be changed up, man. They're trying to hurry up and cover up all this stuff. Revelations 13:6. And he opened his mouth and blasphemed against God, against Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. Remember, he wanted to set his nest up amongst the stars, Obadiah 1:4. Alright. So you gotta understand the spiritualness of this. You know, they got their good looks from us. That's what it's coming down to. They forgot. Obadiah 1:4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh. Verse 6. How are the things that Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Yeah, because the dude, he's in control of the Epstein files. You guys gotta understand these people. That's in their DNA. That's in their DNA. Obadiah 1:7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that ate thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is no understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of Mount Esau? So it's going to be like these people got dementia, Alzheimer's out here, early onset Alzheimer's. For all that racism that their forefathers did, and they still following in their paths, man. Who was they raised by? They was raised by devils. They was raised by witches. Okay? Obadiah 1:10. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, so-called blacks, Mexicans, Latinos, Native Americans, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And the day that thou stoodest on the other side, and the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou was one of them. But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered Thou shouldest have not entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest have not looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. So you gotta understand the substance, just like you get Social Security, you get EBT. These are God-given things like water and oxygen. This is stuff you need for survival. There's things that are being withheld because of people's incapability to either work or mentally sustain, a work day that long. You guys would rather listen to Lou Holtz than to the Messiah. That's what's sad about this world we live in today. They rather listen to these celebrities out here who are richer than the Messiah has ever been or ever will be on this side, right? Just because we know what it is. Possession is real. When you get to a certain status in life, you can feel it. You can understand it. Some of them people, they paid to talk like that, to act like that. When you go into a doctor's office or something, it's the same thing there. Okay, who would still be doing them if they weren't paid to do it? If someone paid you to be you, you know what I mean. But this is it. Love don't cost a thing, you know what I mean? Being real don't cost a thing. Speaking up don't cost a thing. You see anything off out here, it don't cost a thing to open people's eyes, man. But yeah, there's a lot of racism, secret racism going on, and people don't know that all that stuff's about to fall on people. It's about to fall on their own head. Obadiah 1:14. Neither shouldst thou have stood in the cross way to cut off those of his that did escape, neither shouldst thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. So who did they deliver us to? You know what I mean? They didn't deliver us like it says to do. Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. Look at this. It's happening. They can't even run from it. I want to know who came up with the name of this place, you know? Because remember, the Heavenly Father, He's going to send them a strong delusion where they should believe a lie. Remember, they was calling John and they was calling the Messiah the devil. That's how serious. That's how serious this stuff got, you know? I gotta read this, man. Obadiah 1 and 16, because Isaiah 11 and 6 speaks about a small child shall lead them. If these people don't want to be led, then they're gonna be led to the slaughter. That's literally it. They don't want a Messiah. They don't want a chosen man of the Lord. Then they're gonna be led to the slaughter. You're not coming to heaven. That's as plain as day. Obadiah 1 and 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, you go to King Kong, they got the Godzilla, the Monarch coming out, the newest one, you know. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yeah, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been. But upon Mount Zion there shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. You gotta understand the curses and the blessings, because he about to put these curses on our enemies, and they're not about to survive it. And that's what's happened. He about to put these curses on the people that changed the Bible. He gonna put the curses on all the Sunday service. He about to put curses on everybody eating swine like it's in fashion. Everybody waking up eating breakfast and bacon. That's gonna be cursed. Straight up. Straight up. It's gonna be a real thing, man. These people love eating that library, and you know, the Most High, He don't lie. You know, he's pure. So when people say the Bible, you know, this ain't that, y'all better wake up. Some of y'all is not meant to wake up. Some of y'all is supposed to just play that. You're gonna live your life. You know, Obadiah 1 and 17, that matches perfectly up with Isaiah 14. You know, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Because when you look up the creeds and how this land was acquired, you're setting up the descendants of people who have never done any wrong to anybody. So this is why it's turning into a double curse. There are people so cursed right now. It's like they sleeping with each other's brothers and sisters, and breeding, incest. It's real. So what's gonna happen is there's so many of them, like an ant colony. You gotta understand, murder suicide is nothing to joke about. But the Lord showed us how He's about to be slaughtering these families, man, because they didn't want to separate themselves from the abominations that are filling up the land. All right, they didn't want to separate themselves from the black magic out here. Just literally, it's entered into the children, you know. So once you see that, that's the first sign of when a country's about to fall. When a country's about to fall, you got to look at the children. You look at the spirituality, what's going on. It's a disease. It's a plague. Okay. Christianity is black magic. Valentine's Day, you name it. Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, your birthday, Thanksgiving. All of it is black magic. Once you look up into it, They doing for it's fertility god worship. Okay, you gotta understand what the Statue of Liberty is. It's a hermaphrodite. You know, that's what the Statue of Liberty is. It's a half man, half woman. That nobody want to connect the dots though. You don't see the jawline. You know what I mean? It's just people's out here being fooled, man. And I'm pretty sure they did some. They added up all the inches and feet on the Statue of Liberty, and it came out to 666. Just the people who set up this country. They set up the people, the descendants. Yeah, they might have set up their descendants for riches and stuff, but they didn't warn them about what's about to be happening. Obadiah 1 and 18, in the house of Jacob should be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining in the house of Esau, for the Lord Yahweh has spoken it. This is what's happening right now, before people's very eyes right now. Whether or not people love us or not, hate us, whatever, it ain't. You gotta understand, you're not hating on us, you hating on what's in us. That's how far we is into this. Obadiah 1 and 21. And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord Yahweh's. See, Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. That's Idumea. Okay, you gotta understand the habitation of the white race. Okay, the red race. You gotta understand Edom and Esau, and you gotta understand what this is talking about. Okay, remember the Wright brothers. Okay, let me get this. Obadiah 1 and 3. The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And you know, whose habitation is high. You go to the Susan B. coin back in the early 1990s. They had the space going to the moon, right? Which, you know, the scientists that refute that the moon was all, they said it was all Hollywood. You know, that's what the devil has Hollywood, has technology to use against the soul. So you gotta understand, when these churches are not using new information but going off the outdated information, that's like dietary or nutritional laws that were passed down through papyrus paper. You know, the Egyptians and the hieroglyphs and stuff. Basically, these people, just back in the day, they didn't know about washing and cleaning up in these hospitals, and that's what a lot of the spread of a lot of these airborne plagues and deadly pathogen diseases spread through ignorance. But remember what happened to the Native Americans? They were wiped out through an epidemic. Okay, and you gotta understand why this even happened in the first place. They stolen this land. Okay, and now, you know, when it's time to be talking about you know, everybody want to be talking about God, but you know, when you really understand what we got to do for him, you know, that's what it's about. Joel 2 and 28, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions, and also upon the servants and upon the housemaids in those days I will pour out my spirit, and I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. And this is huge, you know. Joel 2 and 31, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord Yahweh come. So there's people out here who had the chance. They didn't hang on to the fear of the Lord. You know, Joel 2 and 32, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord Yahweh has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord Yahweh shall call. Joel 3 and 2, and I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Josaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So this land, you got to understand what this country is, why it's all founded in the first place. There's people out here who hold themselves above God, and they go out there trying to teach people something, or, you know, it's just madness. Isaiah 14 and 2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Spiritually, this is already happening. Right now, we ruling over the whole world with this information because we done caught these newscasts in the lie. We done caught these churches in the lie. How they done sold their soul out here. They know who the devil is, but ain't telling people. Christmas is of the devil. Birthdays is of the devil. We've been saying this for years, man. It's to the point where Native Americans is they can confirm other Native Americans' ancestors back in the day would write in books from the 1800s to tell us the things that was going on back then. You guys, no new thing under the sun. They was a epidemic back then. It's an epidemic. It was an epidemic 3,000 years ago. Okay. The earth is mourning right now because the wicked is in rulership right now, and they're killing the world right now. The wicked is in power. Hey, Epstein files and all that, and a lot of the people that are alive today, they got their name in on those files. You know, same with the, you know, it takes some crazy stuff, man. JFK got assassinated talking about the darknesses of hidden government. All right. Fighting dark forces. He's Ephesians 6 and 12. His JFK's last inaugural speech in 1603, that was the one. He talked about UFOs, extraterrestrial encounters. Some of that is going to happen to the chosen ones out there in the country that aren't born yet, that are born, that are still waiting on the Lord. Because he's gonna talk to you. That's why you gotta prepare. You don't want to bug out like all these other people out here. That's the thing. You gonna be happy when he calls you, or you don't? You know what I mean? That's what it is. A lot of these people gonna be ashamed, man. A lot of these people, they ain't, it's crazy. They ain't trying to talk to God. Crazy. They want to talk to the chiropractor or the doctor, but the one who made you, he's the best. He knows exactly what's wrong with you. These doctors spend years and years trying to figure you out and drain your bank account. When hey, we got this thing called the Bible here, and when you do what it says with the right spirit, and you ain't praying amiss, that's when you're gonna see if he's for you or not. But you gotta understand it. Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place. That's according to the biblical curses of Deuteronomy 28:64-68. That's been fulfilled. And the people shall take them. Okay, we went from another land to another, scattered throughout all the world. According to Joel 3:2, and yeah, we were scattered, we was taken, and that's a beautiful thing to just know that happened to us. You know what I mean? That didn't happen to no other people but His people. Isaiah 14:2, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh, for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So you gotta understand Revelations 12:5. He ruled with a rod of iron. All right. Now the rod, that you gotta understand, it's a spiritual.